Plex just hiked their lifetime Plex Pass to $750. And the features people actually want behind that paywall, like intro skipping, scrubbing previews, pre-roll trailers, theme music, every single one of them is already free in Jellyfin, if you know which plugins to install and which client to put on your TV. So today, we're closing the gap completely. In case you've never heard of it, Jellyfin is the open source, completely free media server that competes head to head with Plex. With 5 plugins and the right client app, you get every Plex Pass feature for $0. I'm your host, Evan. Let's ditch Plex. In case you don't have Jellyfin installed already, I'm going to show you how to do it first on TrueNAS and then through Docker using Dockge Container Manager, so you can do it on any Linux system that supports Docker. Pick one or the other, don't do both. The first thing we're going to need to do is create a dataset for all of Jellyfin's data to live in. On TrueNAS, click Datasets on the left side, and I'm going to put it in my tank configs dataset, and I'm going to add a dataset here called Jellyfin. Do the dataset preset as generic and hit save. Click the Jellyfin dataset, and in the bottom right for your permissions, click Edit. On TrueNAS, everything runs as the apps user, so I'm going to give the group apps permission, and then make sure the group has read, write, and execute, and remove permissions from others, and then click the Apply Group checkbox and click Save. Now my permissions should look like this in the bottom right. Click the Apps tab, and then click Discover Apps. Type in Jellyfin, and when Jellyfin comes up, click the result. Click the blue Install button. If you're in a different time zone than America, Los Angeles, you're going to want to change that here. If you're going to serve Jellyfin behind a reverse proxy, you can enter the URL of your fully qualified domain name right here. Scroll down until you reach the storage configuration section. For the config storage, we're going to want to change the host path, and then find the mount tank configs Jellyfin dataset we just created. Keep scrolling down, and there will be a cache storage here, and you can leave that as an IX volume, and a transcode storage as temporary is absolutely fine. The one thing you are going to want to do is add additional storage here for wherever your media is stored. I'm going to click Add here for additional storage. I'm going to select the host path. In my mount path, I'm going to do it as /media. And now for the host path, I have to find my media, which in my case is mount dozer media. Scroll all the way to the bottom. You'll see a GPU configuration here. If you have a NVIDIA GPU, you should see a checkbox here that'll show you the NVIDIA card that you have to pass through for transcoding. If you don't have one, but your CPU is capable of transcoding, go ahead and check the box to pass through the CPU to transcode. I have this running on a virtual machine just for demonstration, so I don't need to do that. I'm just going to uncheck this. Back on the applications dashboard, you'll see my Jellyfin line now has the big green running pill here. And if I want to view it, I'm just going to click this line and then click the web UI. Now let's look at how to install it via Dockge, and I'll come back and set up Jellyfin after we do that. I'm going to use Dockge to install the Docker Compose file for Jellyfin. If you've never used Dockge before, I've already made a video showing how to use it as a Docker container manager, and I absolutely love it. I'll put a link to it in the video description below. The first thing we want to do is click the plus compose button on the top left and give our stack a name. In this case, I'm just going to call it Jellyfin. Remove all the placeholder information on the right and jump over to my wiki. On the servers at home wiki, which I'll put a link to in the video description below, search for Jellyfin. Click the result. In section 1, deploy Jellyfin. On the Docker Compose tab, go ahead and copy that section. Jumping back to Dockge, paste what we just copied. This Docker Compose file assumes you have an NVIDIA card you're passing through. If you don't have an NVIDIA card, in this case I don't, I'm going to want to remove everything that says NVIDIA, which are these two bottom environment variables and this runtime line. Jumping back to the wiki, in the event you're using an Intel iGPU, go to section 5 and copy this compose stack down here. And this compose stack is kind of personalized to my system, but to show you how to get it, follow the steps in section 5 and run some of these commands in the shell of TrueNAS or whatever operating system you're using to make sure that the render group is being passed into the Docker Compose file for Jellyfin properly. Since I won't be passing through any iGPUs, this is all I'm going to need. I do have to make a couple quick changes here. The first thing is the volumes. I do have a dataset made at mount tank configs Jellyfin, but my media dataset is not in tank. It's actually in dozer. So I'm going to go ahead and change the pool name there and then click deploy. Once Jellyfin is up and running, click the 8096 pill to be brought to the web UI. Let's give our server a name that's a little bit better than the name it comes by default. I'm just going to call it Jellyfin. My preferred display language is English, and let's click next. I'm going to give it a username and a password, and then click next. And then I'm going to add a media library. I'm going to click the plus button. My content type is going to be movies. In my folders, it's going to be media and then movies, and then hit OK. Hit OK. And let's add one more for TV shows. The content type is going to be shows, and my folder is going to be media TV. Hit OK, and hit OK. Click next, click next, click next, and then click finish. Sign in with the user and password you just made. Now that Jellyfin is properly set up, we are ready to start loading on some of our plugins that'll make this feel a lot more like Plex. A quick note before we dive in, everything I'm showing to you today happens on the Jellyfin server. That means once you install these plugins, these features work on every client that supports them. Your phone, your TV, your tablet, your web browser, what have you. The client side matters as well, and we'll cover that at the end with a graphic that shows you exactly what to install on your TV. But the heavy lifting is done with the plugins. Let's install them one at a time. The first plugin we're going to be installing is Intro Skipper. Intro Skipper automatically detects TV show intros and credits using audio fingerprinting, which is the same technology behind Shazam, and gives you a skip intro button right in the player. It's the single feature Plex hides behind a past subscription that drives most people to switch. To install Intro Skipper, go to your dashboard by clicking the little icon of the person in the top right, and then clicking Dashboard under Administration. Next, go to Plugins on the left side. Now we're going to want to go to Manage Repositories in the top right. We're going to click on the plus New Repository. I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it Intro Skipper. And then I'm going to paste the repo URL in the box. I'm going to include all the external repository URLs in the video description, so don't worry about pausing this video and trying to copy what I just pasted. Just copy it from below. Click Add. Click the back arrow. Go ahead and refresh your page, and after that, on the plugins section, click Available, and in the top right, search for Intro Skipper. You should see it pop up here on the left, and go ahead and click the box, and then click Install. It's going to give you a warning. Just go ahead and hit Install anyway. It's going to tell you it's coming from a third-party plugin carrier, and that implies risk, but you're totally okay. Now we get a green highlight up here that's been successfully installed, and we need to restart our server. So go ahead and go to the dashboard, and then click the red Restart button. Click Restart to restart Jellyfin. Now click Plugins on the left side, and you should see in the Install tab that Intro Skipper has been successfully installed, and we can adjust the settings by hitting the blue button here, but we're not going to need to do that because everything set by default is really good enough. We are going to want to do one thing, and that's go down to the Schedule Task button on the left, and where it says Intro Skipper, click the Detect and Analyze Media Segments. Fair warning, if you have a large library, this is going to take a while. You might want to start this at the end of the night and then come back in the morning when it's done. It's going to run by default at 12 a.m. anyway, but I'm going to click the play button now just to kick it off. The next plugin is Jellyfin Cinema Mode. This one gives you that home theater experience of pre-rolls and local movie trailers playing before your feature starts. Plex calls this cinema trailers and locks it to the Plex Pass, but we're going to get it for free. Jump back to the plugins page for Jellyfin, and then go back to your Manage Repositories button. Let's add a new repo, and I'm going to call this Cinema Mode. And then paste the repo URL, which again will be in the video description, and click Add. Let's go back. Let's refresh my page and go to Available. And now I can see Cinema Mode right in the top. When I click it, I'm going to click Install, and then click Install when the warning comes up. And then, of course, I have to restart my server. So let's go back to Dashboard and do a restart. After the restart is completed, I'm going to refresh my page again and go back to Plugins, and then click Cinema Mode, and then click Settings. What we need to do is point this at a folder of pre-rolls. So you can make a new dataset and mount Take Media if you want, or just put it somewhere in your media folder, and then add that pre-roll library here. You can grab cinema quality intros from prerolls.video for free. You can enable local trailers as well if you want to play movie trailers before the film starts. I'll include a link in the video description below for prerolls.video, so you can go and browse those libraries and grab a few prerolls. Next, we're going to grab a plugin that's actually part of the native catalog, and that's for chapter images. Plex's scrubbing thumbnails, which are those little preview images that you get when you drag the seek bar, are also available in Jellyfin known as Trickplay. To enable it, look at the libraries on the left side, and let's expand that, and let's click the Libraries button. Let's start with our Movies library, and then scroll all the way down until you get to the section that says Trickplay. Check all three of these boxes, and then under Chapter Images, check these boxes as well. The Chapter Images gives us a chapter-by-chapter thumbnail on top of the scrubbing previews, which are kind of like YouTube's chapter markers. Click OK, and then let's do the same thing for shows. Scrolling all the way down to the Trickplay section, then checking the 3 boxes for Trickplay and the 2 more boxes for Chapter Images and hitting OK. Now we scroll down to the left to schedule tests. You'll see here the Extract Chapter Images and the Generate Trickplay Images are both options under Library. These should run daily at 2 a.m. for the Chapter Images, and the Trickplay Images run at 3 a.m. Again, this is very intensive, so if you have a large library, I recommend you just let it run overnight, but I'm going to kick it off right now by hitting the play button on both of these. Our next plugin is called Themerr. It plays the theme music of a TV show or movie while you're browsing it. Plex used to do that, and it's a small thing, but makes the library feel very alive. Let's click our Manage Repositories button again, and then click Add New Repository, and I'm going to call it Themerr. I'm going to paste in my repository URL and click Add. I'm going to go back to my repos, I'm going to refresh my page, and then I'm going to click Available and search for Themerr. Once I see Themerr, I'm going to click it in the results, and then I'm going to click Install. Once it's running, again, I need to restart my server, so I'm going to go to Dashboard and then Restart. And after my server is restarted, I'm just going to refresh the page and go back to Plugins, and now I should see Themerr. Lastly, we're going to install the Merged Versions plugin. Now, this actually works by default in Jellyfin if all the versions you have of a movie, like a 1080p and a 4K, exist in the same folder, but sometimes they don't. So when they don't, we're going to need this plugin. Jumping back to our plugins page, let's manage repositories again and add our new repository for merged versions. I'm going to paste the repo URL in and then click add, and then go back and refresh my page. Now let's go to available and type in merged. And here's merge versions. I'm going to click it and then click install, and then click install and the warning comes up, and then go back to my dashboard and then restart my server. Once I go back to plugins, I can now see merge versions is included, and I'll click it and then click settings. And then I don't want to exclude anything. I can now click merge all, merge all, or split all episodes. And in my scheduled tasks on the bottom left, when I scroll all the way down, I see merge versions and merge all episodes will run every 24 hours. And then merge all movies will run every 24 hours. And of course, you can run them manually just by clicking the little play buttons. Here's the part that most YouTube videos skip. These plugins are server-side, but the features only show up on clients that support the underlying APIs. So this is the reference card I've made for you all. Each row is a plugin that I've outlined previously in the video. And across the top are the official clients that can support Jellyfin. Going over this quickly, you can see that the web UI gets everything. Findroid on Android and Android TV gets everything that matters. Swiftfin on Apple TV gets everything that matters. Streamyfin gets everything, plus it gets the native seer requests inside the app, and it's the only one that does if you have seer set up on the side. The official Jellyfin apps cover most of it. Roku and smart TV apps like Tizen or WebOS lag behind on the fancier stuff like Trickplay and chapter images, but cinema mode and merge versions still work everywhere because they happen server-side before the stream even gets to your TV. So my recommendation by platform is if you're on Apple TV, you should be on Swiftfin, or pay for Infuse if you want the most polished interface on the planet. If you're on Android TV, Fire TV, or Google TV, you should be on Findroid. If you're on iPhone or iPad, Streamyfin, especially if you want those in-app requests. If you're on Roku, you need to use the official Jellyfin app and accept the fact that you're going to miss a bunch of features. If you're on a standard smart TV, I recommend you buy a Fire Stick and use Findroid. It's completely worth it.
Did you know I'm available for hire? If you would like a free quote, follow the Hire Me link in the video description below to book time with me one-on-one.
Comparing the finished product to Plex, is this actually Plex now? And the answer is functionally yes, but visually no. Plex still has a more polished home screen on Apple TV, and Plex Amp is the best self-hosted music app on the market. Jellyfin is quickly catching up, but I don't think it's all the way there yet, even though it's getting close. But for video, when it comes to TV shows, movies, and the family media server experience, Jellyfin with these 5 plugins gives you everything Plex Pass charges $750 for. If you're already in the Plex ecosystem and you have a lifetime pass, that's great. There's no reason to switch. But if you're new to this and you're looking at Plex's pricing and thinking about giving them money, don't. Go ahead and deploy Jellyfin, install these plugins, use the correct client for your TV, and you're done. Which Plex Pass feature was the one that almost made you pay for it? Let me know in the comments. I read all of them. If you found this helpful, hit the like button. It helps the algorithm push this to other people thinking about ditching Plex. And subscribe so you don't miss the next video. We've got more Jellyfin content and full client deep dive coming. If you want to see content YouTube will let me show you, like the Jelly Seer setup with a full R stack, head over to Patreon. There's a link in the video description below. I've also done another video on best Jellyfin plugins, some of which I mentioned here and some other ones I didn't mention. Go ahead and check that out. I'll include a link in the video description below. Thanks for watching, everybody, and as always, stay curious.